All right, guys, we are back for the team rounds. Up first is University of the Incarnate Word versus UCSD. And the first match will be a saber match on that strip. The first touch is attack, counter-attack for UCSD. And the second touch as well. The third touch is attack from the left. None of the actions have left the first zone while these guys are still feeling each other out. Attack in preparation for the right. Neither of them have tried to do a pulling action yet, which I think would be a good idea from either of them at this point. Another simultaneous first zone action. And attack from the right. Now, the format of this event is that they are doing a relay format to 30, and each weapon, the order of the weapons is randomly chosen. So saber was deemed to go first, and so up first will be men's saber, then women's saber, and then next will either be épée or foil chosen randomly. The only thing we know for sure is that saber is going to happen first. We're going to switch back over to the other strip while they are setting up the saber here. This match is between Stanford and U.S. Air Force Academy, and up first is women's foil. We've got Ku on the left, who was the women's foil champion earlier today. I can't quite see the name on the right, and I was unfortunately not given that information. But essentially, they'll fence to the next increment of 5. So if the score, for example, ends 5-1 like it did on the first strip after the first bout, the fencers will fence to 10 in the next bout, and then to 15, then to 20, etc. I don't think Ku realized that she fell over yet. But the order on this strip will be women's foil, women's saber, men's saber, women's épée, men's épée. And so this bout was 0-0 7 seconds ago, and now it's become 3-0 very, very quickly. As we saw earlier today, Ku has phenomenal defense. Not a great long attack, but a very good short attack. And so she's mostly letting the Air Force fencer come to her so that she can set up one of her defensive actions, and then she just kind of gets rid of her attack pretty safely so that she doesn't lose any touches for her team. Like that. Kind of a creeping, pushing attack, and then as soon as she feels threatened, she just decides to give it up. And there's that defense I was talking about. The parry riposte is very, very strong. Up. Her foil ended up on the ground, and somehow it got stepped on by the Air Force fencer, which does happen sometimes. Attack from the right is off target. Quick reminder that foil has those off-target lights. And if you have right-of-way, when you get one, it's essentially a null touch. So we're going to switch back to the other strip for just a moment to catch the last touch or two or three of this semifinal. And so the score coming into this was 1-5. UCSD had the 5 and UIW had the 1. Oh, nice touch. And so Geyer is actually on an 8-4 run at the moment. Simultaneous. And the UCSD fencer obviously thinks that should have been her touch. So that's interesting. Left fencer actually crossed her feet, but the ref did not notice it. So he awards the touch, and that brings them to 10-9 in the next leg. And we're going to switch back to the other strip quickly while those guys are getting reset. Now, this is a rematch of the final of the men's foil from earlier. You've got Lucas Orts on the left and Nestor Levin on the right. And the score earlier today when they fenced each other was 15-2 for Orts. So you have to think that Levin has been thinking about that and will be out for blood in this match. Will he be able to deal with the things that Orts was bothering him with earlier, or will Orts continue to do those things and win the bout again with that same strategy? We'll see. The aggressive defense from Levin stopped Orts' attack pretty easily. Now we'll see if he can land an attack of his own, which was where he was really struggling before. Counter parry riposed. He's already doing quite a bit better than he was before. Orts is getting quite close to him on defense, and Nestor doesn't feel quite comfortable finishing his attack. Good defense again. Levin is looking for any way in, but Orts is not really giving him anything. Attack no, counterattack touch. Nice close distance parry. Levin thinks that he hit on target, so he's going to test Orts very specifically. Sometimes the equipment does not work in fencing, and so if you think that you should have hit valid, but you did not, you can always test the other person's equipment to see if it was actually a problem or if it was just that you missed. And Levin scores another attack. So the score between these two at this moment is 2-2. This is interesting. They're both a little scared to commit. Orts was scoring his touches before by being pretty aggressive on defense, and Nestor Levin was being a little too aggressive on offense and was able to, Orts was able to capitalize on that and score a lot of his touches on parry, riposte, or counterattack on defense. But Nestor Levin is being much more careful in his approaches in this second encounter between the two of them, and it's paying off quite well for him. Not with touches, but not with touches against him either. And so if time does run out here, they'll just start the next period with whatever the score is when time ran out, and they'll go to the next increment of 10. And if he can't make up ground here, which he has not yet been able to do, at least he's not losing any more ground as of yet either. Which could be all that he needs to do in this bout because of the incredible one-sidedness of the bout prior. Attack is off target. I've been approaching very carefully again, trying to find some way in. We're just not making it easy. And he's running out of strip to make something happen. He doesn't want to force a situation with Orts. So he kind of gives up his attack there. And time is expired. So the score is now 7-2 going into the next period with sabre. This is a very unusual position for a sabre fencer to be in because in our sport, they don't keep time. So the bouts never run out of time. So you'll never actually start a sabre bout from this position where the score is not an increment of 5. So I'm curious to see how that plays out in this bout. These two are also both excellent fencers. Shay won earlier today, is the individual women's sabre champion, and Joy Yun is an established women's sabre fencer on the national circuit. And it's a lot of ground to make up, but Joy has to score 8 touches, and Shay has to score 13. So this would have to be a truly dominant performance for Shay in order to win this one, because the target here is 15 touches. Reprise from the left, and Joy Yun takes the first touch. Another attempted action by Shay, but it wasn't executed very well, and she does get clipped just barely. Left attack stops, giving Right the right of way to take over. And Shay is on the scoreboard in this encounter. A lot of the touches in sabre today have been attempted actions that were not well executed. And there's another one that was almost very well executed, but she got clipped on the way out. Preparation from the right, attack from the left. Stanford is starting to run away with this one. Wow, that looked like pretty good execution to me, but I guess Joy just managed to squeak her way in there. And finally a clean pull and a clean attack. Both stop and both go at the same time, so no right of way. So the score is currently 6 for Yun and 3 for Shay. Attack touche, 7-3. And Joy Yun closes it out, 15-5. And at this point, with epee coming up, U.S. Air Force needs to make something magical happen right now, because in épée, it's very, very difficult to recover a lead like this. We saw it earlier today where even a one-touch advantage was a lot, and they're going in 10 touches down. So Eric Iwamoto really needs to make something happen against Noah Matriciani, who is an incredibly strong fencer anyway. Oh, nice touch. So Matriciani actually missed his attack on that one. When Iwamoto tried to take over, Noah was ready with an immediate parry riposte. Preparation attack from the left. 17-5. One of the problems that I've seen with Eric Iwamoto in the past is that he doesn't really have the ability to fire himself up at will. And that's a bit of a problem here, as Noah, you can see, is very fired up right off the bat. Attack in preparation. Noah searches for a parry, and Iwamoto goes around it to get his first touch in the fourth leg. Matriciani is in complete control of the tempo right now. And that's it, 20-6. At this point, Air Force would truly need a miracle to make something happen in épée. And we're going to switch back over to the other side, where the score is a little bit more competitive. They are about to switch fencers here, but this bout is a little bit more competitive, as I said before. So this bout will start with men's, or this bout will restart with men's foil in a minute. It looks like it's going to be Gian and Thayer. And the target score will be 25 points. Both fencers are trying to test their weapons, but I don't think they switched the box away from épée. It's on foil right now, but I don't think the referee has noticed. There we go. All right, we're ready to go. So as I said, the target score is 25. So left needs 6 points. Now only 5 points, and right needs 10. Right has right of way and misses. The counterattack from the left is successful. Thayer had a very nice little body evasion there. He dove in and dropped his shoulder, which is where Gian was aiming. And Gian's point went right over his back. Gian changed his weapon. And now we're back and the score is 21-15. Thayer's attack is off target. Thayer is a very aggressive fencer. Every single action, he's gone forward immediately. Riposte is off target, so that's a null touch. Again, riposte is off target, so that's a null touch. Any bout with Thayer in it is basically going to be fenced like a sabre bout because of how aggressive he is. He doesn't wait, he doesn't do too much preparation, he doesn't screw around, he just goes immediately. And that was a very nice remise. Gian took a parry, but during the preparation on his riposte, Jake was able to remise and close out the line he was trying to hit to. And another parry riposte. This time, Gian is able to get a counter parry and is finally on the board at 16-22. But he'll need to do a lot of work to make this competitive because women's foil fencing doesn't tend to be as dynamic and fast as men's foil fencing. As you can see, I think it's been 6, 7, 8 touches scored in 20 seconds, but women's foil tends to be a lot slower, so it's going to be a lot more difficult for women's foil fencers to make up this gap than it would be for the men. Gian goes for kind of a swag move known as a jump flick, which I was talking about earlier. Misses, and Thayer hits with a remise to go up 23-17. Attack from the left is off target. So a null touch, nothing done there. An attack from the right lands. That's a difficult touch to make, but he got it in a very critical moment. Gian is really playing Thayer's game right now as Thayer continues to apply his speed to this situation. Counter parry riposte misses and remise is off target. Nice attack. When going fast there, Jake has been able to pick up a parry every time he's tried to go backwards, but that time he was not. Counter riposte is off target. So the bout is still at a very high tempo, but each of these guys are having a hard time actually hitting the other. That's 3 attempted backflips that have all missed by Gian. You should really stop going for that action. Oh, or he should try it more, I guess. That was the first successful jump flick that he's done. And the score in this encounter is now tied at 5-5, but he still has more work to do if he wants this to be a competitive possibility for his team. And he's doing it. 21-24. Riposte is off target. We're actually going to switch back to the other strip now because the score is 28-11. And Stanford is getting very close to closing out this bout, now 29-11. To my knowledge, a comeback like this has never happened in Epee, so I think Air Force will probably just be going for a swag touch. And Stanford closes it out 30-11 over Air Force. And on the other strip, Jake finishes off his leg with a total score of 6-6 and a cumulative score of 25-21. And now the women's foil fencers will be stepping up with Gomez, the individual runner-up, and Slavinsky, the individual, or one of the two individual bronze medal winners. Gomez doesn't really have a great style for this. She kind of likes to creep forward, and but the fact that she's really good at infighting could make this interesting. If she decides to apply a bit of pressure and force those infighting situations that she's pretty good at without getting hit on the way in, she could still make this happen. Three minutes is plenty of time to score 9 touches, though. There's the infighting situation I was talking about, though Gomez does not end the point with a touch. She doesn't lose a touch either, which is important, but she doesn't get a touch. One-sixth of the time has already expired, and no touches have been scored, which is good for Slavinsky, not so good for Gomez. This is still kind of the adjustment period of the bout, but Gomez will certainly need to make something happen here in order to have any chance of winning. And after her third consecutive single white light, she's getting a little frustrated that she's not able to find the valid target, which might have led to a little bit of impatience there, leading to the first touch of the encounter, which is a colored light for Slavinsky. And the infighting that Gomez was using so successfully earlier in the day is not paying off very well for her. And I just realized that this is actually a repeat encounter from earlier today when these two met in the semifinals. Although things are going a lot better for Slavinsky, who's starting off with a bit of a lead. Actually, a pretty significant lead. Slavinsky now has 2 minutes left to win this encounter, at least 9-1. She could also win 7-0 or 8-1. But she needs to at least tie it up, if not win right now. Attack from the right is off target, so another null touch, which is fine for Slavinsky. She's very happy with any amount of wasted time. There's that infighting I was talking about. In foil fencing and épée fencing, and in sabre fencing too, though it doesn't happen very often, you can actually cross past your opponent. In sabre fencing, it would almost never happen because it's so easy to actually hit the person, but when that happens, as long as you've taken a parry or made the person miss, you are allowed one hit no matter where the other fencer goes or what they try to do to stop you. And so that one hit can be executed with anything from advanced lunge to a standing in place riposte. So you can actually turn around and do advanced lunge backwards on your own strip to hit the person and still have it be a valid touch. Gomez is getting a little frustrated again. And with only 1 minute and 22 seconds to score 7 touches, it's a big hill to climb. Finally, she gets a colored light, and a single one at that, to score her first touch here in the 6th and final encounter. And you can see she's starting to hustle a bit now. So in that case, the referee called halt because their two guards had gotten stuck together, and in order to avoid having the fencers damage each other's hands, they just reset in that situation. Attack in preparation is a second touch. So 2 touches have been scored within the last 9 seconds, which is really good for Gomez. If she gets a 3rd or a 4th touch right now, Slavinsky might start to feel a little bit nervous. Counter opposed is off target. Very nice counterattack from Slavinsky. Can she finish this off, or will Gomez pull a miracle out of her pocket? The touches are coming much more quickly, which is a good thing for Gomez, because in order to make this happen, she now needs to score 7 touches at least in the next 50 seconds. That's 7 touches a second, approximately. Now she has 45 seconds to score 6 touches, or I guess it's only 5 are necessary. So 1 touch every 9 seconds. Now we're at the point again where it's approximately 1 touch every 7 seconds. She only needs 4 more now, and she has 35 seconds to do it. She seems to be more in control of this bout. Slavinsky seems fine just letting the clock expire, which is not always a good idea against someone who's pushing you really hard, because 35 seconds is plenty of time to get 4 touches. Especially with the adjustment that Gomez has made, becoming quite a bit more aggressive now. Even though she's creeping slowly, she is still pushing a lot harder than she was before. Attack is off target. 25 seconds now to score 4 touches, which is approximately 1 touch every 6 seconds. Parry post is off target. Now we're down to 1 touch every 5 seconds. Gomez has got to hustle a bit. Final remise is from the right. So the score is 26-29. Three touches to score it, to tie it up, and there's only 15 seconds left. So a touch every 5 seconds is necessary. Still gotta go, buddy. Attack misses, counterattack touche. Now we've got 9.79 seconds to score 3 touches. A touch every 3 seconds approximately. She's really gotta hustle. Faster, buddy. That's over. Oh, wow. Winning at this point is almost impossible because of the strip space that she's got behind her. Gomez basically has to sprint at her opponent in order to make something happen. Three touches in 3 seconds is no longer physically possible. All Slavinsky needs to do is just run backwards. Even if she gets hit, it's irrelevant. But that is not a good way to do it because you can still score 2 touches in 2 seconds. Slavinsky should just run backwards. Run backwards. Oh my God, she gets it at the buzzer. Gomez did all she could there, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. But good fencing from both teams, very competitive, very exciting. So our 2 finalists will be Stanford and University of the Incarnate Word. And we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back at 2:45 local time for the finals between these 2 schools.